That means Sahaj Yogis have become quite capable of explaining Sahaj Yoga, and I am very proud of them. When I went to Australia, the newspaper people asked me, "Mother, are all your disciples scholars?" I said, "No, they are very common people. They have to be very common and normal people." And they said, "The way they know things, surprisingly we feel they are all scholars." I said, "All scholarship is within yourself. All the knowledge is within yourself. If you only can get light there, you can see all that knowledge is within you. You don't have to go anywhere for your knowledge. It's all inside. Everything is built in. You are built in so beautifully to become your spirit that I don't have to do much about it. It just works out. Only thing is that one has to know what we should expect. To be the spirit, what should be our expectation? And that also logically you must understand. It should be a logical conclusion. Not just because I say something, because you have become a member of some group, because you have paid money somewhere. It's not that. Reality is what it is. And logically it has to be reality. The other day I told you about the left side, about the past, about the subconscious, about the collective subconscious and the problems of the subconscious and the conditionings we get from material things, from matter. Matter is always trying to overpower the spirit. And this matter is overpowering us because we come from matter to begin with. But how does the spirit come out of it? What happens that we become the spirit? People have talked about self-realization. So many people have talked about second birth. Everyone has said that you have to be born again. There are many people who go about saying, "I am twice born," self-certified. You can find all kinds of people in this world who are knowing that something has to happen, some breakthrough has to take place, something we have to see. Imagine at the time of Christ, there were not so many people who were sick. Nobody could talk to the disciples also much. They were just ordinary fishermen, very simple people. But today is the time when you find so many of seekers all over the world. Seeking what? What are you seeking? The seeking is of your spirit. Now this is also a very vague term to say you are seeking your spirit. Now what is this spirit supposed to be? And why should we seek this spirit? In our evolution, we are human beings. Our awareness is that of human beings. And this awareness of human beings is not the ultimate. If it was, we would not have been seeking. It's not the end of it. We have to reach at a point where something more has to happen. Now how do we approach the subject logically? In our evolution, what has happened to us? We were animals, from there we became human beings. What is so special about human beings compared to animals? In the awareness of man, there is a new dimension. For example, you can take a horse through a dirty lane, he doesn't feel anything, the dirt or filth or beauty, colors, nothing. Makes no difference. But if you take a human being through a dirty lane or a dirty house, immediately he understands, he doesn't like it. So what has come into us is nothing but in our awareness, a new dimension compared to animals. Or we can say in very scientific way is that in our central nervous system, we have developed a new awareness. Whatever is in our central nervous system, we are master of that. Supposing I feel this is hot, everybody will feel this is hot. If I say this is the color of this particular bird, everybody will say the same thing. So whatever is the awareness of one human being, awareness, I am saying, not the myth, not the hallucination, but the reality, as far as his organs are concerned, sensory organs are concerned, or is just the same. A person who feels hot does not say that he feels cold. Not the other one will come and say it is cold. They all will say it is hot. So, one thing is there, the truth is one, it cannot be two. And that whatever has to happen now in our evolution has to be in our awareness. Like a fish became a turtle. If a fish became a turtle, what happened to him? It is in the awareness of the turtle, it started feeling the Mother Earth. It lost something that fish had and it started feeling something new. In the same way, in our evolution, if something has to happen, we have to be something more in awareness, more dynamic. For this, we can take help from the writings of so many people. For example, we can consider Jung as one of them who has talked about it. Jung has said, Jung has said that when the breakthrough will take place, the human beings will become collectively conscious. Will become. He didn't say that you'll all start doing the same thing or you start behaving in the same manner. No, he said you will become, you will be aware of it, not unawares. So when you are seeking the Spirit, if the Spirit has to enlighten you, in your awareness, you are going to know something more than you have known so far. For example, you might feel it hot and cold today, but maybe with that awareness you might feel something different about it. He has said it very clearly that you have to become collectively conscious. So the becoming is the point in our evolution, nothing else. We become something else. In Sanskrit language, for example, they say, for a realized soul. For Indians, it's very common knowledge. It's nothing so much difficult to understand. He is called as a Dvija, the one who is born again. And also a bird is called as a Dvija, because a bird is born first as an egg and then it grows, matures, and then suddenly it becomes a bird. And that is the parallel of realization. You also know that on the Easter day we give eggs. It has the same symbol, that we are eggs and we have to become the birds. So just now at this stage when we are human beings, we are just limited like an egg to grow up to a point where you can become the bird. All other sort of things people talk of is not the realization. Like I may say that, alright, if I mesmerize you very well, I can give you bottles and you might start sucking the bottles just casually. Even knowing that you are doing something funny, you are doing it. You will be compelled to do it because you are mesmerized. Any such activity that we fall into is not realization. Because whatever has happened to you, as human beings that you have done no activity whatsoever. We didn't cut our tails as the monkeys to become human beings. It has happened spontaneously like a flower becoming a fruit. It's a living process. One does not realize that whatever has to happen to you is a living process, it's not a dead process. What we can do is all dead. For example, we can stand on our heads, we can jump, we can run, we can do all kinds of things, but that is not the living process. The living process is when you become something, and that becoming must be asked by all honest seekers. If you are not honest, then it's difficult. Or even if you are honest and you are misidentified with certain ideas you have read because you have paid for the book, or you have paid for an organization, you paid for something, that's not going to help. What we have to see, what we become. And that's what yesterday I told, that you become the master. You become the prophet. As Blake had said, that God of men will become prophets and they will have powers to make others prophets. So to be very honest with yourself, you should say, have I become a prophet? And can I make others prophet? This is a very simple way of looking at our realization, and this is what you are capable of. That you become the prophet, because everything is within you. The whole machinery is within you. You are like a computer. You are just to be put to the mains. It will start working. You have to just become that. And if you do not become that, then all other things, forming an organization and any such thing, is of no use, is of no value. It's all, I can say, misguidance. What have you got yourself? Supposing, if Ray has to say something, oh, mother saw a light and this happened and that happened, she has these powers, those powers, it's all useless. What is it to you? I may be the king of everything, so what does it matter to you? What has become of you is the important thing, and for that becoming, if I say there is everything placed within you, I have to prove it, that's all. This knowledge is not unknown to us, actually. It's all being described from the time of Moses. Like he says, the tree of fire. Now what is the tree of fire? Nobody knows. They just say there was tree of fire. But if you see the Kundalini completely enlightened, if you can see, it really looks like a tree of fire. And then it is said also in the Bible that I will appear before you like tongues of flames. Now what is that? No one explains, nobody knows. These tongues of flames are nothing but these centers, when they are enlightened, you see them just like tongues of flames. But you need not see them. Because when you are outside the pavilion, you can see the pavilion. When you are inside, you don't see, you just see the hall. And that is why one should understand that it is not what we think should happen, but it is what will happen actually we should accept. So first we should get rid of our misidentifications with our ideas. That this will happen, that will happen, and this should happen, I should see a light, I should fly in the air. There are many people who are paying money to fly in the air. It's absurd. Why do you want to fly in the air? I don't understand. They are paying much more money than they can, for that, than they would have to pay to go around the whole world. I really tell you, by plane if you travel, it won't be so expensive as you are paying for this flying business, this flying squad business. And what is that? We have to understand. What is that? When we go for this flying, what are we getting into? And this method of mesmerism is so subtle that you cannot understand. You just go on it. Like the same flying squad business. We had a gentleman who was the director of the academy, down with epilepsy, his wife down with epilepsy, the child down with epilepsy. And they all came down to me, they lost their houses, they lost everything, penniless. This is what has happened to the flying of the whole Jew. Now, one must realize that you cannot pay for your evolution. You cannot pay. It's very simple to understand. As I told you yesterday, that if you pay to this flower, will it become a fruit? It's a living process for which we cannot pay. It doesn't understand money. Living processes do not understand money. I have not known any human being, supposing he is suffering from indigestion, he he puts some money there saying that now I pay you my stomach, now will you digest my food. Do we do that? In the same way, it is the highest of highest living processes for which you cannot pay. It's a very subtle thing to understand for human beings, because they believe that for everything one has to pay, otherwise it doesn't work out. You see, you go to a machine, you want to have a good, say, machine, you must pay, which works. You see, it doesn't work, you can have free. But the one that works, we have to pay. Any motor car is free means it's all a junk. You can't have it. You have to pay to take it to the junk shop. So it is always in the minds of human beings that one has to pay. And this is very wrong, that you cannot pay. I am talking of the processes which are beyond human. The human beings are not doing it. For example, we cannot transform a flower into fruit. The living process itself is beyond human reach. But when you become a superhuman, you can do it. And this should happen to you. If it does not happen to you, all the rest of the things are wrong. I am telling you with great concern, because the people who are in the market, who are selling goods, are doing it very well. They know how to entice you, they know how to put ideas to you, how to give you misidentifications, and you just get identified with them till they completely drop out. And then you are left high and dry. You say, oh God, what has happened? One thing is there, that your spirit is not lost. It is there. Despite whatever the mistakes, whatever may be the seeking, but the spirit resides within you despite everything till you live. And this spirit is to be brought into your conscious mind, means into your central nervous system. You should feel the powers of the spirit in your being. This is what is Sahaja. Sahaja, as you must have told you, means born with you. Now yesterday I told you about the left side, which is the power of desire, and through this power we have our all conditionings and all the receptions from the matter, materialistic things, and also what you can say, we collect all our past, and the past then extend up to the collective subconscious. I also told you yesterday that cancer is a disease caused by the left side extreme behavior of people. Those who go to the extreme behavior on the left side get the disease called cancer, and it can be cured if you can bring such an extreme case in the center. It can be cured, no doubt.